Hello, my name is Brooke Stefancic and I'm the Agriculture and Natural Resources for Purdue Extension Sullivan County. Today I'm going to take you through the steps on how to plant and then harvest your microgreens. Now you may be wondering, what are microgreens? Microgreens are small plants, usually lettuce, radish, kale, or other similar species. They are similar to sprouts, except for in sprouts you eat the whole part, including the seed and the root. In microgreens, we'll only be snipping off those first few leaves once they grow. The whole process should take anywhere from 7 to 21 days, depending on the seeds you select and the environment that they're put in. To start, you will need a container of some sort. I have selected a takeout container and I've cut slits in the bottom of it so we can water the plants from below by setting it in a reservoir of water. Also have a mixture of seeds including kale, different kinds of lettuces, and radish, and some type of spoon to spread the seed. After cutting slits in the bottom of your pan, you will fill it with the soilless potting medium. The potting soil should be moist before you go to plant your seeds. For planting the seeds, I'm just using a small teaspoon to distribute the seeds. Some of the sources that I've found recommend anywhere from 6 to 12 seeds per square inch. You want a fairly thick seeding throughout the top of the layer. Microgreens, when they grow, you'll be cutting them when they're small, so they don't need a lot of space. Since we cut slits in the bottom of the bowl, we can water the container from the bottom by setting it in a shallow amount of water. We'll just leave it here for a few minutes until we notice that the soil seems damp. The other good thing about watering from below means that we won't be watering the seedlings once they start to grow, and this can reduce the spread of disease. Now that it has soaked up enough water, I put the lid on it and I will leave the lid on for the next 3 days because seeds like a moist environment to germinate. Now after they start to germinate, I will take the lid off and leave it off because a damp environment for those new seedlings could spread disease, as I mentioned earlier. Our microgreens have been growing for 10 days now, and it's time to harvest them. The first step is to make sure you wash your hands and the scissors or other utensil that you will be using to harvest them. Harvesting the microgreens is pretty simple. All you need to do is pick up the container and cut them just above the soil surface. You don't want to get any soil in there because that will not taste good if you get some of that accidentally when you go to eat them. One thing we've learned from this experiment with the microgreens is that the radishes that we put in here grew a lot taller than the other microgreens. So if I did this again in the future, I would plant just lettuce or just radish in containers separately and I would not mix them. It's important to not wash your microgreens until right before you're getting ready to use them. If you wash them, they will not last as long in the fridge.
Now let's talk about eating microgreens. I'm Cheryl Castleman of Purdue Extension Sullivan County, and microgreens are very nutritious. They're small but really packed with nutrition, and some might even call them superfoods. So they can be added to your favorite smoothie recipe. That's a really easy way to incorporate vegetables into your daily diet. And then adding them on your favorite sandwich or a wrap, sprinkling them on top of salads or a baked potato, or even on top of a soup. So there's some really great ways and easy ways to add microgreens to your diet, and that is adding vegetables, which is nutritious and packed with flavor. So for some recipes, we'll add in the description below to Food Link, as well as Eat, Gather, Go are some great information and recipes to check them out. So enjoy eating microgreens.